Good morning, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for us to be here. I am Mark Drabenstott, the Secretary General of the Global Coalition for Efficient Logistics, or GCEL. On behalf of our whole team, it's our great honor to be in what is one of the world's truly great cities, Mumbai. And we are especially proud to join with CII to hold our first HumaWealth awareness event in India. I want to also extend a special welcome to the many officials who are here today from the Reserve Bank of India and officials from some of India's key government ministries who have joined us today, including the Ministry of Industries, the Ministry of Shipping, and the Ministry of Transport. I also want to recognize representatives with us from Tata and HCL. And we are proud that these two leading technology companies are GCEL members. My purpose today is to introduce you to GCEL and our bold HumaWealth program. We are here for a very simple reason. We are completely committed to equal opportunity. We will be convening a major global event in Geneva later this fall that will launch our HumaWealth program. This program will bring huge benefits to India, but especially to finance, insurance, and technology companies who deploy this initiative. Simply put, we want to make sure all of you have ample time to prepare for the major opportunity I will describe this morning. We meet at an especially critical juncture for India's economy, for the Asian economy, and certainly for the global economy. A year ago, there was widespread agreement the global recession had bottomed out, recovery had begun, and a long road to prosperity lay ahead. Today, there are far more questions about where we are headed. The recovery is highly uneven around the world, with India and Asia posting very strong growth, while other regions, notably Europe, stay lackluster. But also, there is a huge cloud of uncertainty that has settled overhead, a dark overhang of public debt that is nowhere more evident than in Europe. Simply put, we have discovered the limits of using public debt to stoke economic recovery. But we should have known this point would come. Economists have proven that only innovation and its associated gains in productivity lead to sustained gains in economic well-being. As never before, this is the time to renew our collective focus on innovation and SMEs, who are truly the engines of such progress. Indeed, technology and SMEs represent the bright future for this great nation. India is blessed to have literally millions of these engines of growth. And that is surely a reason why India is taking its place as a major force in the global economy and a leader in the G20. I'm sure that all of us would agree that SMEs are the vital engines for a more innovation-driven Indian economy. Innovation certainly lies at the heart of the important work on regional development at the OECD's Territorial Development Policy Committee, which I have the honor of chairing. But such innovation in India will not happen by itself. Together, we must first create the conditions in which both innovation and SMEs will thrive. My brief remarks will highlight what I regard as the major problem standing in the way of India's SMEs, and then describe an initiative now underway to solve this problem. The problem is fundamental, but largely ignored. Many Indian companies, and especially SMEs, lack the 21st century soft infrastructure they need to compete and succeed. For more than a century, business leaders have demanded and public officials have responded with investments in hard infrastructure: roads, ports, industrial parks, multimodal facilities, some of which we can see from this room. All of these have been the backbone of economic development. But the world has changed. The very nature of trade has changed. The information associated with the shipment of goods has taken on much greater importance to the businesses who make the products, to the shippers and carriers that move the products around the world, to the consumers who buy the products, and to the governments concerned about the borders they cross. Just consider how powerful such information is to India's businesses. The seamless sharing of information all along the supply chain would allow firms to operate at top efficiency. It would also connect them with consumers anywhere in India or in Asia or the world quickly and reliably. Last but not least, dynamic, real-time information makes businesses, and especially SMEs, much more bankable, since costs drop, profits rise, and risks decline. The real problem is that Indian businesses are trying to conduct 21st century business with a 20th century pipeline for trade and commerce. This pipeline simply lacks the capacity to permit the seamless sharing of information, which today is as important, if not more so, than the physical movement of the goods. To give but one example of where we are, about 80% of the documents associated with the movements of cargo containers still change hands in the form of paper. And data that does find its way into electronic form often gets keyed in over and over again, giving rise to possible errors and frequent delays. More investment in hard infrastructure will not solve this problem. Only bold new soft infrastructure can build this 21st century pipeline. Large corporations, of course, already try to overcome this problem with their own information systems. Yet such efforts only solve a sliver of the problem. The logistics industry, whether in India or in the world, is simply too fragmented for one company to conquer. More importantly, SMEs are left to fend for themselves, and they lack the resources to create the information connections they desperately need to succeed. As a result, SMEs often carry high operating costs, have difficulty expanding their markets, and they frequently lack the trade finance and credit that they need. To help India's businesses prosper in a 21st century global economy, this soft infrastructure must do three things. It must connect business with buyers in distant markets. It must provide real-time information on the movement of inputs and products to optimize business results. And three, it must share critical business information with strategic partners to improve access to vital financial and technical services. Such soft infrastructure simply does not exist today, and it lies beyond the reach of every Indian SME. But that is about to change. GCEL is about to build a 21st century pipeline for global commerce. This will start in 4 regions of the world, including Asia. The New Dimension Green Corridor, which was the focus of this video, will be founded on one of the first deployments anywhere in the world of GCEL's revolutionary soft infrastructure. The best news of all is that this very same soft infrastructure will also become available to businesses and SMEs in India. Even better, it will be available at zero cost to them. The Global Coalition for Efficient Logistics, GCEL, is a non-profit, public-private partnership based in Geneva, Switzerland. Our mission is to deliver a 21st century pipeline for global commerce that will allow all the vital information associated with commerce to be shared seamlessly from shelf to shelf at the speed of light. We bring together more than 30 governments, 13 NGOs, and many world-class finance, insurance, and technology companies from around the world who collectively represent a manpower of 2.7 million workers and who service about 60% of the world's GDP. Together, these groups are committed to unleashing a new 21st century of trade efficiency, one that, as indicated in our video, will deliver nearly $700 billion of savings every year to every household, every business on the planet. India will share fully in these huge savings. GCEL's soft infrastructure has three critical ingredients that provide the tools that India's businesses and SMEs need to prosper. Let me briefly provide an overview of these three critical ingredients. The first is the global logistics system, an open architecture information system that provides non-intrusive integration of existing systems, yet allows the seamless sharing of critical business and trade information without requiring standardization. This path-breaking technology will be made available to all businesses at no cost to them. Second, a global deployment network. Just as important as the technology is a network of world-class companies to deploy it. To ensure global acceptance, this network must be carefully balanced to address all geopolitical and monopolistic concerns. GCEL's network of finance, insurance, and technology companies in all corners of the world is designed precisely for this reason. In turn, these firms have a $6 trillion market opportunity by the year 2020. And while we cannot take time to go into all the details now, I want to stress that this initiative creates vast new markets for the companies in this room. A $5 trillion market opportunity for India's banks. A $600 billion new market for India's insurers. And a $400 billion new market for India's technology companies. These are compelling reasons for you to become part of HumaWealth. And the third critical ingredient is a rapid deployment program. Because the global economy is so deeply integrated by trade, the final element is a well-designed program to deploy the system quickly around the world. In 18 months, the HumaWealth program will do just that through 4 deployment projects that benchmark the benefits for SMEs and others. In addition, GCEL's public and private members will be working together to speed deployment, each doing what they do best. And last but not least, every business on the planet will be able to use this system for free. If Yahoo and Google have shown us anything, if we want a product to be truly global, it must be free. The New Dimension Green Corridor that we've just seen is one of these 4 projects. But another one will be right here in Asia, with comparable, if not even bigger benefits than what you have just seen in the Euromed. India has an excellent opportunity to be a first mover in this Asia benchmark project, but this is an opportunity that you must seize. Indonesia, through its National Chamber of Commerce and Ministry of Trade, have already made a strong commitment to participate in the Asia project. The question is, who in Asia will join them? Just as in the Euromed, the Asia project can spark a huge economic boom. By lowering the cost of trade by 30%, the New Dimension Green Corridor project, as you saw, has the potential to grow Euromed trade by 271 billion euros and ultimately create 20 million new jobs. The gains in India and the rest of Asia will be just as significant. The benefits are not all measured in rupees and jobs, however. This same 21st century pipeline of commerce can also do powerful things to improve the quality of life of every person in India. To name just a few, It can make your food safer. It can make your nation safer. It can provide the tools you need to respond to emergencies and disasters much faster. And it can make your environment more sustainable. Amid these overall benefits, though, it must be stressed that this new pipeline of commerce delivers the innovation that fuels your nation's great economic ambition, spurring rapid growth in service industries and giving literally millions of Indian SMEs an unprecedented competitive edge in Asian and global markets. This gain in competitiveness derives from having powerful new tools previously beyond their grasp. Here are just a couple. Number one, dynamic real-time data on their business. The global logistics system provides data on where every input and every output is in real time. Everything an SME needs to operate at optimal efficiency. Swift, reliable connections with distant markets. The global logistics system puts businesses in touch with the most competitive logistics providers while providing the seamless sharing of critical product information to ensure satisfied buyers. It helps SMEs grow sales in distant markets on the most competitive terms, with the assurance that their products will arrive on time. And real-time visibility and third-party corroboration. Real-time sharing of essential business information means that we effectively reduce the credit and transaction risks borne by lenders. This puts SMEs in the position to acquire the capital they badly need to be successful. GCEL is honored to be partnering with CII to provide the soft infrastructure that India's businesses, and especially SMEs, need to compete and thrive. Like you, we believe the time has come to move beyond still more government debt and recognize that only innovation can fuel a return to economic prosperity. Thus, we are pleased to be in Mumbai to share with all of you our commitment to supply the soft infrastructure needed to create a 21st century pipeline for trade and commerce. Our work in Asia and in the Euromed will start soon. But first, we will gather public and private leaders from all around the world to Geneva this fall to launch our HumaWealth program. This event, planned to be held at the UN Palais des Nations, will begin the equal opportunity process of selecting the initial round of finance, insurance, and technology gateways that will comprise the deployment network for the global logistics system. We invite all of you to join us at our HumaWealth Genesis event planned for later this year in Geneva. GCEL is absolutely committed to equal opportunity for all. We want to ensure no region is left behind. We also want to make sure that every world-class finance, insurance, and technology firm in the world is invited to seize the huge new markets this initiative creates. And that is exactly why we are here in Mumbai today. But for India's banks, insurers, and technology companies to lead this initiative, they must engage, and we hope they will. Working together, we can build a 21st century pipeline for India, for Asia, and for global commerce. This pipeline holds great power to unlock this great nation's enormous economic potential, one business, one SME at a time. Today, everyone in India wants to travel the road to prosperity. The question is no longer where to start or how to enlarge markets to create jobs to sustain growth. Rather, the question I would like to leave you with is much simpler but far more urgent. Are we ready to act? Let's work together for a smarter India, a new benchmark for a smarter planet. Thank you all very much.